Well, speaking of dating and horror and comedy, we're going to switch to some robots.
Cool.
Companion,
Romantic robots.
a great blend of sci-fi, comedy, horror, and dating. I love the opening sequence where Iris and Josh meet, but you also have the great moment where she says, "The first day I fell in love with him, the first day he killed him."
Yeah.
Yeah. What went into this opening with that VO to establish a character, tone, and actually Iris's journey for the movie?
That's a great question. So, Drew Hancock, our writer-director on the movie, wrote one of my favorite scripts in years. Like I was sent to it from the producers, JD and Rafi over at Boulder Light, and they were like, "We're thinking of you for this. What do you think?" And I think I read the entire thing in like an hour and a half, and I was like, "I want to find a way." Yes, the answer is yes. We'll find a way to do it. I was immediately taken by it, and I met with Drew, and it was clear he was very protective over these characters, and particularly Iris. And the initial line that he wrote for this opening voiceover of hers was, "The day he killed me," referring to Josh. And we had that in the cut for a few months. We had the awkward predicament of shutting down the movie halfway due to the SAG strikes when we shot the film. And so we had this version of the movie where Iris says, "The day he killed me," for a few months, and then we went on hiatus. And the film just kind of sat on a server, waiting for us to resume work. And we jumped back into it, and we kept on testing. And we went through a few discoveries in this time, a few tonal discoveries. We shifted, I think, some of our approaches to music, our way of thinking about the form of the film in regards to its use of comedy as well, which is another thing we can get into later. But we always wanted to make sure that Iris's journey was very much the focal point of this. We never treat her as a robot. We treat her as a human character that happens to have science fiction qualities to it. So we went in. I talk about on Hard Eyes the importance of the friends and family screenings. Companion was no different. So we went into a friends and family screening for Companion, and the first person that raises his hand that says, "I love the film, I have some ideas," was writer-director Mike Flanagan.
Oh.
So Mike came and he says, "Have you considered changing that opening line of narration from the day he killed me to the day I killed him?" And everyone kind of looks around and we're like, "No, we have not considered that idea." And I think Drew was like, "That's interesting. Let's sit on this." And we began to kind of kick the idea around. And we tried a version and we changed it. And I love this example as a question you bring up, because it's something that, we talk about the importance of kind of setting the rules of the movie in the first 5 minutes. What are we sitting down for? The line, "The day he killed me," it sets up certain expectations. It sets up that Iris is the victim in this, and her boyfriend, we're now immediately cued into Josh is the villain. Josh is going to turn on Iris and he's going to attack her. So your experience over the next few minutes of the movie is, when is this attack going to happen? How is it going to happen? How is this romance that seems, maybe a little, not one-sided, but Iris clearly likes him a lot more than he likes her. That doesn't seem quite, okay, well, how is this going to happen? And so then the film follows a plot line that is a little bit more traditional. But if you change that to the day I killed him, now your first impression is of Iris, who is someone very sweet, very docile, clearly very in love with, clearly very infatuated with this guy. And you tell the audience, she's going to turn. Something is going to happen where this person who has been so infatuated and so innocent looking becomes a murderer. How? And then you meet and you have the next few scenes with the wonderful Sophie Thatcher, and it's like, this doesn't make sense. So now, instead of kind of waiting, okay, let's see how Josh kills Iris, now it's, this doesn't make sense. How is Iris going to do that? And so we found it kind of made you lean forward a little bit. You begin to kind of question this trajectory, where does this go? And we found that it had a way of making the audience connect with this lead character faster. It raised a bigger narrative question at the onset. And overall, I think it was a really good note. I think it helped the movie quite a bit. Not to say that there's not a good version of the movie with the other line, but it would not have been our final film.